Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. The Legion of Doom.
Hey! Look at that. We got another friend already? Everyone, this is Illuminerdy, and this is Dom, the famous Dom, dude. I thought I was blowing up on YouTube until I saw your YouTube channel, man.
I don't think that's how it works, but it's cool hanging out with you two. Congratulations, Jake, on 2 years of sobriety.
Yes. Thank you, man. You guys are the best. I also feel like, Dom, were you wearing a blue tank top last time we did a live stream together?
I did, but it's not the same. This is a Star Wars tank top. It's Darth Vader on a surfboard.
Nice.
Solid.
I love that. Okay, can you name every character on Tyler's shirt? That's the important question.
Probably, yeah.
This isn't even hard.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, can you name every character on my shirt?
I don't even see a character.
It's all the Batman the Animated Series villains.
Oh, now I see it.
Like zoomed out, it's kind of hard to see.
You know what? Well, that's why it was a challenge. Okay. Your poster in the background is taunting me because that held up my order at In-Stock Trades for like 3 weeks.
Which
the Ultimate Spider-Man trade paperback? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's taunting me because I think it finally shipped. It like shipped today, and I ordered it like 3 weeks ago or whenever it came out.
Mm-hmm.
All my other things were scanned the day of, except for that one. And I'm like, this is why I don't buy Marvel. Why I don't buy Marvel books.
Is it out of stock?
I think it just got back in stock, but okay. I think it was out of stock for a little bit. But if you don't want to support In-Stock Trades and the evil conglomerate, you can use organic price books.
That's got to be one of the smoother transitions I've seen you do on this channel.
Yes, yesterday I was hanging out with my male life partner, best friend Jordan, co-founder, and he said, because I was wanting to buy the Taschen Fantastic Four book, but I didn't want to buy another Taschen book, and he goes, if you buy that one, I'll buy the X-Men one. And I was like, that X-Men one's not very good, right? And he's like, no, I love that era. I have all the Epic collections. It's nostalgic for me. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then he saw that on organic price books, it said sold out. So he went to a competitor, Cheap Graphic Novels, and placed the order. And I go, dude, you didn't even give me a chance to ask JP if it's in stock or something, or if he has it. And he's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So I messaged JP and he's like, yeah, I have it in stock. And I'm like, Jordan just cheated on you. And he goes, what a traitor. And moral of the story, Cheap Graphic Novels charged him $15 to cancel his order. So that was his punishment.
So is that your new venture as far as collected editions?
So I think I'm done because I don't want the other ones. So I have Spider-Man, the 2 Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, and Fantastic Four. It's just like the greatest format. Like, it's so cool. It's so oversized. If DC made absolutes of them, if DC made Taschen books, I think I'd be hooked on them and I'd be in serious trouble. But you guys, I like big books, and luckily there's only 6 of them, and I have the 4 of the 6 that I want.
You got the 2/3.
Yeah.
What are the other ones that you're missing?
So the 2 that I'm missing that are out right now are Avengers Volume 1 and X-Men, and then Avengers Volume 2 comes out the end of the month or next month.
Okay.
Which Taylor Talks Comics already claimed because he's been on Taschen before me, so I should let him have that. That's
only fair.
Yeah, I get everything else I want, Well, I guess I can have one thing I don't get, right? Just kidding. So what's new, guys? How have you guys been doing? How are you celebrating Batman Day tomorrow?
I just found out that from you, so I don't know.
It's his 85th birthday.
Dude, I am not with it. I am drowning in life.
I know, man. I'm sorry that things have been tough, but how does it feel to have your new setup completely set up, your library set up?
Good. I still need to organize my books, and that's like a job within itself, but I'm happy that all the shelves are here, so that's a breath of fresh air. But probably still an entire day of just reorganizing now.
But doesn't that sound like a great day?
Dude, I get
Or
out
do you
of
not
breath.
like it?
I'm like dripping sweat when I do it. I'm trying to remember my ABCs, which I can't do. It's not
Ooh,
fun.
that's a good question. How do you organize? Are you purely ABC? Are you like ABC chronologically? What do you do?
I do ABCs, and then obviously by character. So like when you get to S's with Spider-Man, I go chronologically, but sometimes I'll break that up. Like for example, um, like the Onslaught trilogy. So Onslaught, Heroes Reborn, and Heroes Return. I keep all those together, even though they're obviously it's O and then H and H, but
Mm.
they coincide each other. So I break my own rules sometimes. It depends.
That is for me, if you actually took a fine look at my collection, it does not make any sense, but I hope it looks good enough on camera. That's all I care about. Like at this point, I have a whole section of Marvel Omnis that are hidden behind, the other Marvel Omnis that are here because I ran out of space of shelves. So, yeah.
So
wasn't
far, I
into
haven't
the,
gotten any complaints with my collection. The only complaints I get a lot is the sagging shelves, which I don't know if I'm going to do anything about. I probably should. And then people will be like, "Oh, you don't have Inferno after Inferno Prologue." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't get it. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not in order."
That's awesome, man. I had one person tell me that what they loved about my videos is you'll see my background change out if I need to grab a book for the video. So like they're like, "Oh, it's not a fake set." And I'm like, "Dude, you think I have this much money to have a fake set like Omar does of books behind him that will never get moved or touched? This is my working library." So what have you guys been reading lately? Anything exciting?
I'm reading 3 books currently. I'm reading Peter David, Incredible Hulk, Volume 2, Moonshine, and Sarah.
Is Moonshine the arch nemesis of Moon Knight, or are they completely separate?
No, it's like a mafia style story, but inject like werewolves into it. That's what I can describe it.
Okay,
Very
that's good for
weird.
spooky season. And Dom, what are you reading?
I had to catch up on a couple of Dan Waters books. I just finished issue 116 of Taylor's Nightwing. I'm trying to get myself prepped up for the end and the transition. I was actually lucky enough to not only interview Dan Waters today, but also get to announce his new book that he's doing with Hayden Sherman, who's drawing Absolute Wonder Woman. And they're doing 2 books at the same time, which is pretty amazing. I can't comprehend getting all those pages in.
Yeah.
I've been catching up on Taylor Nightwing and Taylor Titans. So both of those 2 books, as a matter of fact. I just finished the what was it? The Action Comics run Peter
Warworld
Johnson wrote, but it's the latter part where it's like the Superman family, not the stuff on Warworld.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a lot of backups in it, Jake, which we all know how you feel about backups.
Okay, if you guys think I didn't care about backups, why would I interview Sal from Comic Pop, who is writing the upcoming backup issues in Terminator by Dynamite? I gave a whole platform and my first question was, what were your favorite backups you've ever read? And
what are your favorite backups?
I haven't read any. Okay, on that note, let's go to No, I said I like the Ghost Maker backups in, I think it was the Tinian Batman run. Like he had that new character, and then there would be backups of him like going on adventures. And I'm excited to read the upcoming backups of, I think, was it the Joker backups in the new Tinian Zdarsky, where he's like battling Zurn. I haven't read it yet, but
yeah,
I'm excited
those were chips.
Yeah. Let's go to some chats though. Congrats on 2 years. but that's nothing compared to Batman's 85 years. Congrats. You got me back into comic books. See, my hope is that I get people back into comics and then they outgrow my channel and go to a better channel. But I want to be the gate. I'm the gateway, you know. Once they realize I only talk about 6 books over and over again and they want more than those 6 books that I talk about, then they move on. But then I'll get the next wave of people to hear me talk about.
Is the reason Batman's getting a star is because of 85 years?
I think so. So the whole so have you guys ever been to Hollywood and seen the Star Walk?
No.
It is horrible. It is terrible. It's depressing. It's sad. You have the cheapest Iron Man costume walk up to you and he's like, "Hey man, $5 for a it's kind of sad costume, but like guess I'll do it." They take the picture and they go, "Yeah, $50 or I'm calling the police that you stole a photo from me." And you're like, "You said it was $5." And then like it is disgusting. But
that's how Vegas gets you, man. Vegas is people like that running around all the time.
I know, but I think whenever like there's a movie coming out soon, they'll give a star to like that actor because it's like a publicity thing. But my question is like, who pays for it? Because it's like $6,000 or something plus like maintenance upkeep fees. So I'm trying to think like they're promoting Batman Day, so they teed it up perfectly for Batman Day. So I don't know who's gonna actually accept it, but they're probably pushing like the Penguin and Absolute Batman and maybe like last Halloween. But yeah, so it's usually just like a propaganda thing for the publicity machine, you know. But
branching off of you just mentioning it, Absolute Batman, the first issue came out, right?
Not yet.
I think the prologue for last Halloween came out, which is the like the finale of the long Halloween stuff without Tim Sale. That just came out Wednesday, and I think Monday was the final order cutoff date for Absolute Batman.
Okay, because I was seeing panels like floating around, so I was like, did that come out already or no?
A lot of the people who have access to the review copies and stuff, because people with review copies typically they get them on the week before FOC date. They've already seen it and read it. Like I have a friend who does reviews for a like small news publication, so they get books out early. They got a chance to read, and I was like, why can't I see that? Like I'm excited.
You didn't send it your way.
They didn't. Yeah,
when I interviewed Sal, he goes, "Oh, when you guys read Absolute Batman, you're gonna love it," because I guess he got to read it before he interviewed Scott Snyder. And I'm like, that's such a humble brag. But big news: this week was the first week I ever got early copies of a comic book to review for before they came out for an interview. So nice. I got both the Rockefellers and I got Hornsby and Halo by Peter Tomasi for the Ghost Machine stuff early. So when I was interviewing Francis Manipul and the rest of the people, Francis goes, "Yeah, so when you read it, you're gonna love it." And I go, "I have read it." And he goes, "What, did it leak?" Like he was all freaked out. And I had to be like, "No, they sent me an early copy."
Yeah, typically, like, and I've had this experience now getting to interview a couple of people. It's very hard for creators to know like what they like the difference between like what they have finished, because typically it's like 3 to 4 issues that they already have in their head or like finished out on paper, and then all the stuff that the public sees, because some people just don't like, they don't pay attention to the social media or they aren't in tune. So it's hard for them to differentiate between what have I actually put out on paper versus what the public knows, because they don't know exactly what, how much we know versus the people in the company who know more of the ins and outs than we do.
Yeah, they're probably so stuck with the work, My favorite question though that Francis asked me, we're on first name basis now, me and Francis Manipul, he goes, so I'm just kidding. No, so I was talking because I was like, Tomasi, like you're the only guy who's gotten me to buy the same omnibus 3 times because of Super Sons. And he started laughing. And then I was talking with him, and like Francis didn't really know what his work was collected in. I was like, he's like, there's probably a Flash Omni. And I go, you also have a Detective Comics Deluxe Edition. And he goes, okay, so I have to ask you, how do you read them? Because I tried reading A Big New Frontier, but I like to read on my belly on a bed, and I don't know how to read. So how do you read, on your back or your belly? And I'm like, that sounds kind of dirty, bro. But like, I'm like, if I'm reading at a desk, it'll be the largest format Like, I don't think I'm gonna lay on my belly reading a Taschen book on my bed with like my feet kicking up behind me. But that was my favorite question I've ever been asked.
That's hilarious.
That interview,
That's cute and funny, I will say.
did you guys hear the curveball that got thrown at me for that interview, though?
No.
So the way Ghost Machine works is there's a couple different sub-universes in Ghost Machine.
Mhm.
So there's it's either the unknown or the nameless universe, which is where Geiger takes place. And then Tomasi has the Family Odyssey universe, where he has one book where Manipul is doing the art. That's the Rockefellers. And then this other guy named Peter Sven something. He did work. Yeah, Schneidberg. Yeah, Schneidberg. Sorry. He's doing Hornsby and Halo. I was only supposed to interview Manipul and Tomasi. So all of my thumbnail, my title, my questions were geared towards the two of them. I didn't even read Hornsby and Halo early because I thought it was just Francis and Tomasi. And then I get to the interview, and the first person that pops in is sorry, say it one more time. Svenberg?
Snijberg, yeah.
Yeah, Sniper. And I don't know who the hell he is. And he goes, "Hey, man, I'm so excited for this interview." And then I realize this is the first time all three of them have been in an interview at the same time. But I have to quickly redo the thumbnail, redo the title, redo all my questions, and try to skim Hornsby and Halo during the interview because I had nothing planned because he wasn't supposed to be there. And I was not prepared, bro. Because he got there before Jordan got there. He got there before Tomas. Anybody. I don't know who he is, but like now I know he's an amazing writer. It was like he lives in Denmark, so it was like 11 o'clock at night but he still made time to do my interview. Like, but I was such a curveball, dude.
I remember when you sent me the thumbnail for the Tomasian band. I can't remember if it was just like you asked me for advice on it, but also you were just like, yeah, I'm interviewing Tomasi Manipul, you know, like the usual, you know, does this look good and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, this guy's probably rushing to Photoshop for 5 minutes, try to quick select that stupid thing, mask it, get the text back in.
I mean, I literally had the interview was called Ghost Machine Talking the Rockefellers with like just their names, and the description was all about the Rockefellers. I didn't have any. I had saved images to show of Rockefellers, but I saved nothing for Hornsby and Halo. I didn't even know what Hornsby and Halo was about. I guess it's like a teenage demon, teenage angel are like roommates together, and they have a cat and a dog. I had no idea, but I'm like just secretly trying to skim it while I'm in the interview. So that was, you know, and she told me afterwards, she said, you did a great job pivoting with the curveballs. So that was fun. And according to Comet Chic, the interview was great. So
nice. I don't know how both of you do the interviews. Like, I feel like my brain would explode just trying to think of like questions, but also just act normal while talking to somebody I probably like idolize or look up to. Like,
well,
I would just
how are you doing
have
it
a
now?
meltdown.
Because don't you idolize and look up to me?
No, not the same.
Oh, no, okay. I was gonna say, because you do a good job of not looking tongue-tied when we do live streams together.
Not looking what?
Not looking tongue-tied, because I know that I'm one of your heroes, right?
I'm always tongue-tied. My favorite thing that I always point out was when Omar was my first interaction with him, which was the Evergreen Marvel Omnibus live stream.
That was your second interaction.
No.
Your first interaction was my bachelor party.
Yeah, but I didn't even say anything during that live stream, remember? Because once Omar came in, I was like, oh my gosh, Omar's in here.
Your V-neck did the talking.
That's Mitch's V-neck.
Yeah, Mitch. You have the link, Mitch. Come on and explain your side of the V-neck story to us.
Yeah, seriously, because I'm getting all the heat for it.
Yeah, you pay for his sins, man. So your first interaction with Omar, where you spoke, like, was the
and like he, you know how he goes around the table and he's like, hey, like, who are you? And he finally got to me, and like, I remember my throat just dried up, like I was getting lightheaded. I'm like looking at the chat, and there's like, you know, however many people in there, and I'm like, I'm about to pass out on live stream right now.
I remember my first Evergreen stream. I was like kind of lower in the docket, so I knew I had a little while to get to me. And I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I thought of a joke. So I said, hey, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win. So that was like my icebreaker joke.
I remember that one, yeah.
Bunkmaster Beyond Comics, you got another shout out in my video tomorrow. 3 of the handsomest guys on comic YouTube. Also 3 of my favorite people to argue with. Bunk chatted me, Dom, and said, does Dom know I'm joking? Did I go too far about the basketball stuff? And I was like, I think you know he's joking.
I definitely know he's joking. Dude, I have nothing against the guy. Like, I love Bunk. Like,
Yeah.
it's very hard for me to get, okay, I will say it's easy for me to get passionate about sports, but it's very hard for me to be offended about sports. Because after going through subreddits on NBA, NFL, and MLB, you've seen stuff, and it's like you're immune. You're immunized to it. That's what it feels like.
I don't feel like I'm immunized to Reddit. Reddit hates me. If anybody here is a member of the Omnibus Collectors Reddit, back me up. They have been so mean to me. I don't know why. Like, what it was one time I posted what was arguably a borderline obscene haul, and it was technically like a few months, but as a joke, I go like, May haul went a little crazy, and it was maybe like what people would haul in a year or something. It was something like grotesque, and they just went off on me for weeks, bro. To the point where I made this is my last haul video, guys. I'm done.
Yeah. How long did that last? That lasted a week or 2 weeks. It
was okay. What do I do? I did a poll on the YouTube community section that said, should I bring back hauls? And 300 people voted. 297 of them said yes. The other 3 people said yes, but less of them. Literally no one said no. I think like I thought my wife was gonna go online and vote no because she doesn't want more of those.
Well, I think but the thing is, like, how do you weigh the one no versus all the yeses that might feel, I don't know, less weighted? I have no idea.
This is false reporting. Okay, Bunk, but your vote had an asterisk on it. That's a little inside joke. I don't know if you know that
well
one,
played.
Tyler.
Well played.
No.
He hit Dom with the Lakers have an asterisk win because they won during the COVID year. I'm not a sports fan, but that got Dom riled.
Like I said, it's hard for me to get offended, but it's very easy for me to get passionate about the subjects I'm talking about.
Bunk, what are you doing tonight? Are you still oh, you are busy tonight. I forgot. You're with family.
6'6" man has to be with family.
Yeah. I never got the review. Did your daughter like the book I sent her? Did she like Lilo and Stitch? And did you do all the voices?
You know he did.
Yeah. I want to hear his Stitch voice now. So I included the most inappropriate joke I've ever put in a YouTube video for my next one. Did you see it, Tyler?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
What did you think about it?
I feel like I should text that
bad. Okay, you don't think it was that bad?
I have kind of dark humor though, so I didn't think anything of it.
Here, Dom, I'm gonna send you this little clip of what I included in my YouTube video, and you tell me if it was funny.
I think he told me the story. I think one of the first.
No, this is brand,
you can
this
still
is
play
brand
it.
new. This is brand new. Let me see if I can pull it up right now. Okay, little sneak peek for everybody. I even got my wife's permission to use this joke.
That's all that matters.
Right? Okay, here we go. So let me go here. Jake said no one voted no. Polling results show 8% of respondents voted no. We can't trust crooked Jake Spencer to represent comic YouTube. Vote Bunk.
Here he comes with the chaos. He does this every time I do a live stream. I'm happy that he does it here too.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't be the same without his craziness, right?
Every time I do a live stream, he comes in and it's just like, you didn't read this comic book, like fake nerd or fake comic lover.
One second. Oh, what? Now it's a party.
Hi, Jess. What up, bitches?
Jess,
did
you see the thumbnail I made you? I thought it came out perfect. And I even sent you one without text just to post on social media.
Yeah, for the minister.
He's gonna say I hate it.
Minister returns live.
Yeah,
What?
isn't it?
There's
Look,
one
your
of
shirt-
you.
No. It's here.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, do you like the minister returns, and then that little image? You're wearing the shirt, you got the book, you got the background, it's all in sync.
Yeah, which I mean, did you want me to use live or the not live?
Use the one with the text on it, but I sent you the one without the text just to post on like Instagram or something because you look cool. It's just branding.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Dom, hey Illuminerdy, how you guys doing?
My boy
What's up,
Jess. We doing all right? Hope you're doing
Good.
well.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
How was my hometown today? Was it beautiful?
Actually, it was a little hot, but we had I went with Johnny from Dying Breed Collectibles. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw my first live stream of him the other day. He was selling books on Instagram, but he had 4 giant bottles of lotion behind him that like was the most distracting thing I'd ever seen. And then I saw him do a post the next day say, "Hey guys, I get a lot of tattoos. That's why I have so much lotion behind me." But it was like an obscene amount of lotion behind him.
He has tats on every. He's going to New Jersey. This is how. I mean, you guys are all young, so I could not conceive of this. After we did Baltimore Con all day today, then he was going to an O's game at Camden Yards. Then he was going to New Jersey after that, where he's getting a tattoo. His favorite tattoo artist is in New Jersey. So, like, I barely made it home. Hey, Samantha, how are you? Good to see you here. I barely made it home. And then he's going to New Jersey and going to a Mets game on Sunday. Then he's going home and catching a Phillies game. He's a baseball nut.
But you know what?
He does have a lot of tats.
Even more excruciating than a tattoo is a live stream with the 3 of us. So after a whole convention, you now get to hang out with your 3 favorite youngins in the comic book world, don't you?
Yes. I'm so relieved to be with you guys now and talk more comics.
So what we were going to do, we were
really
all
happy to be here. It was a stressful drive home.
I remember the one time we drove in a car together, I was like, I feel like Jess doesn't like driving very much.
You're right. Especially at night. And as Tyler will tell you, Baltimore, I mean, Maryland in general, has some of the craziest drivers I've ever seen. I mean, people were passing me. If I was in the right lane on the Beltway, people would pass me on the shoulder. And I'm like, it's all brake lights in front of us. Where do you think you're going so quickly, you weirdo? It just cuts in front of me. I mean, I can drive fine at night, but in Maryland, you've got to also pay attention to people weaving and cutting in and out of you and taking crazy chances.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't dig it. It's not daylight is hard enough, but you throw in nighttime, and I am like an old man. I am an old man. I'm old.
No, you're a well-seasoned reader. You are a Silver Age Silver Fox. You are a 90s comic survivor.
Right.
You were there on the original appearance of Gaggy, right? You got to read Gaggy in your single issues.
I do have the original appearance of Gaggy still in one of my Batman. It's somewhere. I need to find that Gaggy.
I make a big deal because I have this running joke that Gaggy is my favorite villain in DC. And I have to say his best appearance is in Gotham City Sirens. When he comes out and he's like, he takes off his Joker disguise and he's like, "That's Gagsworthy, S. Gagsworth to use." And he says a bad word to Harley Quinn and he pulls out a knife. And then you get this tragic backstory. It was probably my favorite thing that I'd ever read Paul Dini write. So,
so do you want to see what I got at Baltimore Con?
Yes.
We would love to.
What were you guys talking about that I'm interrupting? Anything?
Literally nothing. Tyler was telling me he didn't think the joke that I sent you in my video was too far. because he has a dark sense of humor. So the video is uploaded. The joke is going live tomorrow. My wife said it was funny, and it wasn't.
I thought it was funny too. I told you to go ahead with it. Yeah.
So we want to see what you got signed.
I did talk to Bunk on the phone, so it's good to see Bunk in the chat.
I know. I got a video chat from Bunk today with his little name tag on at work. I got an at work video chat.
Oh, in coat and tie?
Button up, long sleeve button up with name tag.
Casual Fridays.
Right.
The first thing I got is I didn't take Lonely City with me, the book, so I ended up getting Cliff Chang. I bought the set from him, and he signed.
Signed all 4.
Yeah, wow. He signed all 4. I bought the set. He signed this one someplace different. Yeah, there it is. Very nice guy. I got a picture with him. He was a very nice guy. Then I met G. Willow Wilson.
Ooh.
To Jess, G. Willow Wilson. I got a picture with her. She was very nice. And since we're talking about G. Willow Wilson, I got something for Bar because I think she's going to love this. To Bar, G. Willow Wilson on this. I bought this comic for Bar, the Pride, Poison Ivy, and
W. Scott Forbes cover, Jess.
Yeah. Wow, you are good, dude.
What a good eye.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a game that I need to play with Dom. Just pull out all these random variants I have and see if he can identify them. Boy, that's a good one.
I don't know this feeling I'm feeling. It's this like jealousy that he's getting positive praise from my mentor. And then I'm starved from positive praise, and he's showering my rival, so it's okay.
Yeah, I think it comes when you don't ask for it. I just give it to somebody. I'm just giving it to Dom. He doesn't ask for it.
He doesn't even particularly want it, but versus me, I crave it.
I know.
It's my sustenance.
Which is why I withhold it from you.
That's called intern motivation.
Yeah, so I got her to sign
that too, Jess. That's cool.
Yeah, she was very nice. Got a picture with her. And I have a contacted Oni Press, it turns out. So he gave me a free whatever this is, Cullen Bun. Oh, and he's their sales manager. He used to work at Third Eye, and I ran into him and I gave him my business card and said, dude, let me know how I can help you. You know how I helped Titan Comics break the news of Conan, so it just rocked the YouTube world.
It did. I mean, you scooped everybody,
and I had no idea that I did.
I know.
Jake is like, why didn't you tell me that you were going to be the first to break this, and we could have done this and that and social media? I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't. What? How did I scoop anybody? And he's like, you're the first one to show anything. And I was like, I am? I didn't know that. They didn't tell me that. They just sent me the book.
He dropped 2 back to back at the same time on the same day as videos. Not the first time. There's physical proof that these books exist in the wild, you know? Like,
and the only clue I had was Dom said something like Jess with the big scoop, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then I think Sazmurf was like, oh, you beat Very Fine Condition on this. I'm like, oh, okay, good. But I was sure that had I known that I was going to be the first, I would have made a bigger deal out of it. I sat on those books for 3 days because I was just like, somebody else has them, obviously. So, geez. I had no idea.
It was the first time I saw one of your videos get posted on Reddit, the place that bullies me. People posted it on Reddit because everyone wanted to see like the review, like the first overview of these books. You got usually it's near very fine condition. Sorry, I don't want to break my contract. It's very fine videos that gets posted, but you were first, man.
Well, was that in the Omnibus collectors thing in Reddit?
Yeah, the
Where
place
did-
that's not very nice to me.
Yeah, was that the bullying place? Was that where it got posted?
Well, Jess, I'm bullied in a lot of places.
Okay.
We have to be more
Reddit.
specific. Yes.
Do you have more
Yes.
places on Reddit than just the omnibus place that
My
bullies you?
marriage, my friend group, my work, YouTube, you.
I don't bully. I don't bully.
You don't bully me, yet we have video.
I
My
did not
mom
not
called me and she said, "What's the deal with the crowbar, sweetie?"
I did not make that.
That's video proof.
But I didn't make it. I had nothing to do with it. So it got posted
Got like
on
100
Reddit.
people on. Yeah, it did. And I was
Okay.
thinking next time I come, if I ever go out to Washington again, do you want me to sign my trading card? Does that boost the value of your trading
Yeah,
card?
where is that? Let me finish this. Yeah, Jake did make it into a trading card. Terry Moore was there. He signed this book for me.
Ooh, that's a fancy signature. That looks like what you should get from Jim Shooter for $20. It has a $20 flair on it.
Hardcover Parker Girls. I did not own this, so I bought it from him, and he signed it for me. That's
Nice.
pretty cool. Philip Kennedy Johnson signed Action Comics. He sort of remembered that the minister and I interviewed him, but I'm sure he has, he's done 1,000 interviews. So, and I got a chance to meet my heroes and told them, look at what they did for me. This is Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. I told them how much New 52 Harley made me fall in love with her and turned me into a huge Harley Quinn fan, and they went all out.
Oh,
Wow.
you got the sketch.
Yeah, both of them sketched.
Oh, that's so cool. You got the inker and the penciler both on it. That's super cool, man. Congrats.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they said, "Wait a minute, you didn't vote for our omnibus for the DC Evergreen stream," and they crossed it out.
Out of you. Now you're bullying me. So that's what I got. Oh, Illuminerdy, you just had a shirt go up. The best Robin.
Was it Jason Todd?
Dead or alive, Jason Todd.
There are people who believe both, Jess.
Let's see.
And now you got to show off your Jake trading card.
Yeah. James made me how did this even start? I don't remember how this started, but James made me a bunch of like Dungeons and Dragons cards for Batter Days in the Batcave. And let's see, where's Jake? Jake made it in there. I think Dom made it in there too. Did
He
you?
better not be higher than me at mouth harp. That was the one thing I had a problem with, James. Why was my mouth harp 1?
Nobody. Yeah, here's Dom.
After a random stat on a Friday night, who would have known?
Here's Dom. What's his mouth harp? Oh, 2 out of 5.
What?
Intelligence.
Does he have more speed
I
than
had
me?
intelligence 4 out of 5. I mean, I'm gonna take that all day at the bank. That's the
Yeah,
only
let's
thing
see
I
how
have
they
a single-
compare. Highlight
I
me
don't
there,
know.
buddy. Let me
So,
see how these
I'm going
compare.
to. Okay, so my strength is 3, his is 4. My speed is 4, his is 4. My durability is 3, his is 4. My fighting skill is 3, his is 3. And my mouth harp is 1, his is 2.
I love that you're upset about mouth harp.
Why is my defense power 4,000 less and I have 500 less attack power? What is this?
Jason Todd crowbar. With the power of the crowbar, flip a coin. If heads, your attack will double.
Okay, so that makes my attack more. So I have a 50-50 chance of having more attack.
Comic releases. With the power of comic releases, you call upon the power of everyone in the Discord and temporarily increase your defense power by 5,000.
Your defense is already so high, though. That's broken.
It's broken. Complained to the man that made him. Oh, Freddie asked for Omnidog trading cards. Oh, okay.
I thought
That's
we were it was supposed to be was the Omnidog Batter Days calendar.
Advent calendar by James Abel. Now that I would buy. That I would actually
Where
buy.
each month was a different co-host for Batter Days.
That would be fun. Omnibo made it. Geo made it. Astonishing Melanie made it. Bunk. Oh, Bunk. Have you seen yours, Bunk?
Bring up the stats.
Yeah. Look
His
at
strength
that.
is 5.
Look at those. His HP, man.
He's a tank.
That's a nice
Hey,
HP.
Mike.
I'll give him that.
Okay. Did he help with the stats just so he could cook up his stats a little bit better?
I think he
Bunk
might.
did.
Now I
game.
see why. He's
Yeah.
padding those.
Look at that
But
picture.
he gave the advice. Yeah, Bunk gave James advice. So that might be
Okay, so now we need to know if Illuminerdy had a trading card, what would his stats be comparatively to us?
I don't know what any of those mean. What's mouth harp?
Oh, you never. Okay, Jess is famous for
I
being
have to forget it.
a maestro of the mouth harp.
It's in the other room. Just a sec.
Sometimes Jess will grace us with a performance that makes even heroes weep.
I don't know if it's something dirty or if it's legit
It's
like instrument.
no, it's just a sweet, genuine man and his mouth harp.
This is a mouth harp.
Okay.
And apparently, my mouth harp skill is a 1.
Do you even own a mouth harp?
Not yet, but I
Well, you need to get on that if you want to increase your mouth
does
harp.
Dom own a mouth harp? How he's that too?
Dom,
I have a piano.
Do you have a piano, Jake?
No, I have a ukulele. My wife owns a ukulele. You know what? The instrument that I play is your heartstrings
I don't think that's how it works.
and the world's smallest violin. I can play heartstrings on the smallest violin.
I don't
Can you
think
play it better than Mr. Krabs can on a Tuesday night at the Krusty Krab is my
I
question.
never watched SpongeBob. My only cable channel growing up was Boomerang, so I grew up on 70s and 60s cartoons, thinking that's what everyone else watched, and then I was like, "Hey, have you guys watched Super Friends or the Banana Splits or Hong Kong Phooey?" And they said, "Go sit away from us. We're gonna talk about SpongeBob and Danny Phantom and all these
Danny
other
Phantom
shows
was
I never
lit.
got to watch."
I will be right back, guys.
Probably gonna go practice his mouth harp a little bit. I'm not salty. It's not like this is my night or anything.
No,
I mean,
wow. So True Graphic is congratulating you on your 2 years. 2 years sober and 85 years of Batman comic book. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Batman Day. That's right. Good to see
Yeah.
True Graphic.
5 years ago, Jess planned that it would take him 5 years so he could celebrate Batman the Animated Series on Batman's 85th anniversary. So
It took me 5 years to watch it, to finish it. And then I finished it finally this year.
What's the verdict now that you're completely done?
With Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah.
Well, it's easy for me to see how you guys grew up loving it. I can see now exactly how it became such a cultural touchstone for your guys' generation. I loved almost every episode of Batman and Robin. That's the 3rd season.
mm-hmm.
Batman and Robin. I loved almost every single episode. Whereas the first 2 seasons, you had some great ones, you had some kind of not great ones, but
We're looking at you, Condiment King.
I love that episode.
My favorite, yeah.
Robin Adventures was great. I really loved that season.
It is weird though how do they ever say who his new Robin's name is? Because I feel like he acts like Jason Todd and Tim Drake combined. You know what I mean? Like, do they ever specify who the new Robin was?
He does call him Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that we see an origin story for him.
There we go. You got my back, Jewish Dragon. After 2 years, Jake's endurance stat should be higher. Yeah, now are you gonna read the Batman Adventures omnibus?
I will eventually. I've got a bunch of other stuff I have to read first, but I love that Batman and Robin Adventures omnibus. That was great.
I think you
Are you
read those
going to
out of order.
continue your watch-a-thon into the Justice League shows?
Ooh, they get so good.
They do get really good.
I have been told that I could. I mean, I have the DVDs for the Justice League shows. I also have Batman Beyond, and I also have the DVDs for animated Adventures of Superman. So, I mean, people have told me to watch Batman Beyond next. People have told me to watch Justice League next. What do you guys think I should watch next?
Well, there's a whole like watch list where you're supposed to watch like these 2 Batman episodes and this one Superman episode. So I don't think you have to be religious to the continuity, but
that sounds like too much work.
If you do Batman Beyond next, you should watch the epilogue episode of Justice League Unlimited. That's kind of like the finale to Batman Beyond.
Okay, I think you told me that.
Yeah. Have you watched the movie Mask of the Phantasm? Have you watched the movies yet? Because that would be what I would do next.
I've seen Mask of the Phantasm.
And I think there's Mystery of the Batwoman also, but which isn't as good.
Mystery of the
still
Batwoman.
good.
I don't know that we saw that. How recent is that?
It came out around the time of the TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I saw that.
So that one's good. My favorite is Justice League Unlimited. That's when so Justice League is very much like the core 6 or 7 of the main roster, and Unlimited is like, how about you have every character ever? My favorite Unlimited episode is the one written by Gail Simone, where it's like the double date between Black Canary and Green Arrow and the Question and Huntress. That one was phenomenal.
That entire arc is really good.
Right?
Yeah.
So this was Justice League Unlimited?
Yeah, that's the one where it's basically every DC character, big or small, like Shining Knight to like every.
I feel like the best way to view it is like Batman and then Superman are like the building blocks to Justice League, and then Justice League is like the building blocks into Justice League Unlimited, and that's like the actual finale or climax of all of them combined.
The only one I never watched because it just seems so niche is, I guess there's a sequel show to Batman Beyond called the Zeta Project, and I never watched the Zeta Project.
I've never even heard of that.
Me either.
Yeah,
I have.
That's how niche it is.
I have watched a lot of episodes of Brave and the Bold, and that show's great. I love that show.
My favorite is my favorite episode of Batman the Brave and the Bold is the one where they have Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy playing the Spectre and the Phantom Stranger and they're watching over Batman the night he confronts Joe Chill, and the Spectre is voiced by Mark Hamill, and he wants Batman to kill Joe Chill to be an agent of vengeance, but the Spectre, voiced by Kevin Conroy, wants him to have him do justice instead of vengeance. It is awesome.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold. It's like their one serious episode.
Wow.
Batman has to confront, and the fact that they brought the Joker and the Joker and Batman's voice actors to be the Spectre and the Phantom Stranger as they're like watching what Batman does the night he confronts Joe Chill, the murderer of his parents.
Wow.
Best episode ever, dude.
Sounds great.
So good. Maybe watch that one episode next. It's a good follow-up to the animated series. And then there's the crossover movie with Scooby-Doo called Mystery Incorporated.
Nice.
What? Do I have that?
I don't know.
How do I have that?
It's a standalone movie, so you might. Yeah, it was on the Boomerang app, but they just got rid of the Boomerang app, so it's on HBO Max, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jake, did you ever watch The Batman, like the more modern?
Yes, and I will die on a hill that The Batman is underappreciated.
I agree.
What are we talking about?
So they did like another Batman show called The Batman, and it was like I loved it because his team he built from like he was like a standalone Batman. By the end of the show, like he'd even crossed over with the Justice League. He had a Batgirl, Robin. I remember I didn't know Clayface's origin story when I was watching the Batman, and they do like a 3-episode arc of like the detective becoming like one of the detective characters becoming Clayface, and it like broke my heart. So like, but it was like they took really unique designs for characters. Like here, I'll pull up some of them up. Like people hated the Joker.
I haven't heard of this.
I love the Joker. I love that iteration. And I'll also die on a hill with the Batman crossover with Dracula is like one of the best superhero movies.
That
like
one was great.
Cartoon. Gotta
Okay.
specify.
Is this on Max?
Yeah, it's on Max or Netflix. I forget which one it's on. It's on
Oh,
one of
I
them.
recognize this, but I haven't seen
It
it.
had such a sick intro. It was like, that was X-Men, never mind. But it had its own cool, unique intro. But it had a vibe, and it definitely wasn't appreciated because people just wanted more of the animated series. But for them, that's not the. Here you go. This is it right here. I really enjoyed it, and it is definitely like no one will ever rank it as like one of their favorite cartoons. It is like lost to time and forgotten, but it should be higher on people's list. It was really good.
Yeah. I think it was buried by like nostalgia of the animated series. So people just didn't want it because it was different. That's about it.
Yeah.
It is darker. It's a lot darker than animated series, I feel.
Ooh, that sounds good. I like that.
Peace and Love. I thought that was trademarked by Very Fine Condition.
Shut up.
He gets a penny every time someone says peace and love. Darth Twinkie saying, watch Hong Kong Phooey next. He's got style and a groovy smile and a car that just won't stop.
Hong Kong Phooey.
Did you ever watch that show, Tyler, or was that before your time?
No, did not watch that at all.
Oh, Samantha, you guys sold her on the Batman.
I like it. I hope you're impressed with it. Let us know. Tell us after you watch it what you think.
Yeah.
I really loved the slow build of getting Robin and Batgirl. Like that made it like how his roster would expand over time.
I have like a foggy memory of like a like future movie that took place in that universe too, where like Batman was a little bit older and like scarred, and he was in like being replaced by his family, or am I making that up in my head?
I don't know, dude. I don't think there was obviously like there's the Batman Beyond movie, Return of the Joker, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
No, I'm thinking of a movie. It's the same animation style as the Batman. I think they're even taking on Mr. Freeze.
Let me see.
But I may be losing my mind here.
The Batman TV series, 5 seasons. Let me see.
Oh, it's 5 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
On Max right now?
It's on Max or Netflix. I think it might, because they took off a lot of DC content off Max, but they added it all to the stuff they took off Max, they put on Netflix, I think.
I haven't seen it on Netflix, so I would lean more towards Max.
Let me Google it right now. I streamed it like a few nights ago.
I may need to get the Blu-ray of it too.
I would say though that okay, it's on Netflix and Max, and
Netflix
and
and
Max.
This is why Samantha and I are already good friends. She says, "I'm so easily influenced. Someone says something's good, and I'm sold." Same here. Same here.
It's Emmy winning.
It is that good.
My favorite episode is one where the Riddler and the Batman are on like a boat, and somehow they fall into like a shipping container that like sinks to the bottom of the ocean, and they have to like put aside their like rivalry and work together with their combined smarts to like get out of I guess the shipping container.
It's a very mature show. It's kind of like when you think of even the imagery, like the design of Joker, it's so creepy looking. It's kind of insane that as kids we were just watching that.
I love it. I will say though that I would put Justice League Unlimited way higher and Justice League and that stuff way higher. But this is like, it's still good and should be remembered a little bit more. Jess, who is the favorite person you met at the con today? Tyler, who's your favorite alligator you've met since the move?
Well, Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, I got them right as they were supposed to go get lunch, and they have a handler, and the handler was doing his job, but I like overrode the handler as Amanda Connor came back and the two of them were getting set to go to lunch. I said, "Are you still signing?" Knowing that she wasn't supposed to be. She said, "Oh yeah, I can sign something for you." And then I went into this whole thing about how the new 52 Harley Quinn changed my life. And she was like, "Oh, well, we'll sign for you, of course." And the handler was very upset with me. And I loved it because I got like 10 minutes and a picture with them. It was awesome.
You pull out the deluxe edition and they go, "Loved it, but not enough to spring for the Omni."
Nope. They did not say that, Jake.
I know. Only us weird collectors care about format. Most of the comic book writers.
If I have something in a DC Deluxe, I'm not going to. It's the same size as the Omni, so I would never get rid of it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, right. That's like the fourth format you have something in.
I've gotten better with that, though, haven't I?
No.
I've only bought like 4 books this month. They're
all the same book in just 4 different formats.
No, the 4 books were Tashin's, but
So everybody was really nice, Bunk, but I think I was most excited to meet Palmiotti and Connor. And also G. Willow Wilson was really nice too. I mean, everybody was nice.
Were they just on the floor, or did you go into like a like one of the rooms or something like that?
They were just on the floor, like an artist alley. Not artist alley, but they were G. Willow Wilson and Palmiotti and Connor were right in the same area. And you had to know, we had to kind of hunt for Cliff Chang, but we found him. So they were just booths that were set up at the convention center.
Cool.
Tom King and Mitch Gerard's line was way too much. I took Strange Adventures because I wanted Gerard's to sign it, but he was sitting with Tom King, and so it was just I've already got Tom King's signature several times. God bless you, Mitch Gerard's, but I'm not waiting an hour.
Were they separate lines or one line? Because I saw someone be so smart at the everyone was in line for Tom King, who was next to Mitch, and one guy walked up to the handler and goes, "Hey, is it cool if I just want Mitch to sign it?" And they go, "Oh, of course." And Mitch signs the book and he goes, "Hey, I mean, if Tom can sign it too, that's awesome." And he just cut the entire line that way. I thought it was the most brilliant thing I'd ever seen, but that's like only gonna work once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was he was the only guy I did not get something signed by.
You could have got your Riddler One Bad Day signed.
That's what I took.
How good was that book?
That's
I want Riddler One Bad Day.
I've never read.
I want Riddler One Bad Day signed, and I want Batman the Brave and the Bold winning card, which was the Joker story they did together.
We'll need to read that. Yeah.
The way Mitch Gerard drew the Riddler getting spanked by his headmaster father was the best art I had ever seen. It was.
You're an influence Gerard.
Is it Gerard? I've never known how to say it.
Now you do. You just said it right.
Mitch Gerard.
Mitch Gerard's, yeah. Foxhound is congratulating you, Jake. So's Mr. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Foxhound, and thank you, Mr. Awesome. Congrats on sobriety and being open about it. Thanks, guys. I feel like if I can help 1 or 2 people on their journey by being open about it, why not? Plus, it helps keep me honest because I don't like go to any of the groups or the meetings or anything. So I just have being honest helps me out with it, So that's good. Are you gonna spring for any of the new Batman Day Roosevelt shirts, Jess?
I haven't seen them.
Well, here I'm wearing one right now.
Oh, you are? Oh, is that animated series? I can't really tell.
Yeah, it's they did an animated series line.
For Batman Day?
Yeah, here I'll pull it up right now.
Well,
God,
I would be happy to wear one.
Okay.
Batman Day is such a big deal now. The first Batman Day was a Wednesday, and I got a ton of stuff that was free that Third Eye was giving out, and it was just like a regular Wednesday. And now it's turned into this super huge thing once a year on Saturday.
And he's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk.
Who is?
Batman is. He's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk. But if you ever go to there, it's a really depressing place. Okay. Here are their. I'm trying to find like the. Let's see, collections. Where's Batman?
Comic Book Report is congratulating you, Jake.
I'm doing 2 things. Thank you so much, Dom. Can't stay tonight, boys, but wanted to pop in and say hi. Congrats again, Jake. Hopefully, I can catch some of the replay.
I love that I'm just pointing something nice out and you flip out. I'm just like,
do you want the ability? Should I make you a moderator so you can highlight the chats too?
Yeah.
You'd like that power, wouldn't you? I have it on. I forgot I have it on yours, but I'm always so gingerly about it.
You
I don't want to mess with your flow. Okay, here's their animated series line.
Ooh.
So they have this one is called the Bat Noir shirt. Bunch of
kind
of gray. I'm not crazy about that one. Then this is what I bought, which is called Gotham's Guardian.
Does that say $70?
Yeah, that's what they are. But they're super high quality. Oh, okay. I like that.
This is what I got.
Okay, I like that a lot.
And then this one is the one I thought you would like, Jess.
That is cool. I can't quite see.
It's all of their pictures and Harley's like front and center on the.
It's kind of like your Iron Man one, but it's like little profile pics of them.
Yeah.
And then the one that this Batman and Robin t-shirt.
It's cool.
Yeah. I want to reach out to them and say, please sponsor me because I can't afford your shirts. I get to buy one a year. My wife lets me buy one a year because they're so. But sometimes they go on Black Friday or whatever.
But they're really, really high quality. So that's, I understand your reluctance to pay the dosh, but they are super high quality.
I noticed you bought that Super Friends shirt we were talking about last time, Jake, in one of your videos.
Yes, and Jess didn't buy it. He told me we were gonna buy it and have matching shirts together, and he didn't buy it.
Tyler, does that sound like something I do? Wear matching shirts with a guy for a chat?
You were there, Tyler.
No.
Even Tyler knows I wouldn't do that.
I just like that Jake got the seafoam green one.
That's the color Jeff picked out for us. I didn't want seafoam. I wanted lilac.
The seafoam's nice.
Okay, hold on.
Bunk is on fire in the chat.
Listen, my family is waiting for me to come back, and they're starting to worry about me, but I refuse to go back until Tyler tells me about alligators. Why is everyone ignoring me? You're turning me into Psycho Cleveland. Okay, I'm leaving. My family is legit worried. Congrats again, Jake. Tyler, please let me know after the stream what your favorite gator has been. Well, then I'll say, Bunk, see you later, alligator.
Boo.
Somebody should have laughed at that.
Boo.
Have you even run into any gators down there?
I've seen maybe 2. With my job, I'm on like golf courses a lot, and that's the only place I really see them. But
Yeah, they're nothing to mess with.
oh yeah, they're like miles away, and I can just barely see them like popping out of the water.
That's what you want to do. You don't want to be near those dudes.
No, I don't even like snakes. We had a snake the other day in our yard, and me and my wife were both like, okay, what do we do? Because I'm afraid of snakes and my wife's afraid of snakes. So I guess we just like burn the house down. I don't know.
You look through a window and the snake is perusing your Omni collection.
He's taking over the house.
He's
It's
doing
his
a live
house
stream.
now.
It was scary, man. Because then we posted it on Facebook, like our neighborhood. It's a newer neighborhood, so it has like a Facebook group, and we posted it. And it was a pick me rattlesnake or something like that. It was like super venomous.
Like just the name rattlesnake in it. It's not like it wasn't like the cheery little garden snake or something.
Yeah, but this is where I come clean and say it was about this big, but still, it was scary.
It's the most venomous snake, and it was in your yard. Yeah, you're legit allowed to be scared of that.
Okay, good.
I had an experience once where I went to Yosemite with my wife's family and my wife, and I was like we were in like the river, like right swimming. And I go, so do I need to be worried about anything? And they go like, what do you mean worried about anything? I'm like, I don't know. Are there like river snakes? And they all start laughing at me because there's no such thing as river snakes. And then a giant black river snake swims by us. And I'm like, I felt so vindicated. It was like, those were those moments where God's like, hey, that'd be kind of funny, right? Like they've been going to Yosemite for like 20 years. And they're laughing at me that there's no such thing as river snakes, and a giant river snake swims by. And I'm like, I'm getting out of the water.
River snakes.
Yeah.
That's
so are you guys doing anything fun to celebrate Batman Day?
No.
Yeah, I'm having the Minister of Comics on to talk about Batman the Animated Series. What's more Batman than that?
Reading Batman, I guess. Like reading a Batman comic.
Could.
I might venture out to a shop. I kind of want to pick up the last Halloween prologue. I went to
Globe was there, and he didn't have much of a line, and Johnny got a bunch of stuff signed by him.
I would have loved to have met Jeff Loeb.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, and then Johnny went back. I don't know what the issue was, but he wanted to find out. I don't remember the story, but it was a Batman story, and he said, "I need to find out about the ending of something." And he came back and he said, "Oh, that was a wasted effort." And I go, "Why?" And he said, "It's one of those endings where it's up to the reader to decide what happened." And I'm like, "Dude, tell me what happened."
Why do I feel like he's like? So come on, who was the holiday killer?
He said it's all in there. Jeff Loeb said it's all in there, and you have to just read the story. It's like, dude, I just want you to tell me.
I've been waiting 30 years to figure out who the holiday killer is. That's funny if that's what it was. In my head, canon, that's what it was.
It could have been.
I think tomorrow I'm gonna read my new Batman Artist Edition. And then go to the comic book shop, and hopefully they have they didn't sell out of the prologue. I think that's how I'll celebrate Batman Day.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is so Batman's Day is tomorrow. What's the one Batman story that you are gonna read? Like, if you only have time to read one, which one are you going for?
Should I pick one I haven't read, or one that if there's one that I want to read that I haven't read, or one that I've read a bunch and I want to reread?
Just whatever calls your name. If it's something that you want to read, or if it's something you just love and
I want to. So I'm going to pick the Artist Edition Batman because I want to read that. But I also have been wanting to read Batman Ego. I've had it for a while and haven't read it yet. And then I saw BJ's video today where he talked highly about it. So I'm always down for more Darwin Cook stuff. So those are my two picks.
Samantha's right. Samantha's in the middle of a big Batman readathon. Every day is Batman Day.
I think my whole life is a Batman readathon.
I will pick Tom King's Deluxe Volume 3 and 4. Those are my two favorite parts of Tom King's run. I love Tom King's run on Batman. I will not apologize for it. Anybody that doesn't, go ahead and read something that you think is better, which is nothing. But I love Volume 3 and 4.
Sometimes I feel like I need to change my name on YouTube to Tom King Apologist because I love Tom King and I talk a lot about it. And then every time I do a Tom King video, I get like half the comments are like, you know, he's a war criminal and like you hate white people. And I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm white.
A war criminal? Okay.
I guess like because he was in the CIA, some people consider like, I don't know. I don't think everyone in the CIA is evil.
And they don't even know what he did because it's the CIA.
Yeah.
Tom King is a great writer. I love almost everything I've read by him. And I have a whole stack of stuff of his stuff that I need to catch up on.
You're
Like
speaking to a guy who likes Heroes in Crisis here.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't you like Heroes in Crisis?
I like the art of Heroes in Crisis.
I love the art in Heroes in Crisis.
That's about it. I don't think it's worth the hate that everybody, like, people were like burning their copies and all this ridiculous stuff. Like, come on now, it's just a book. Relax.
Wally's stands are too crazy for me. Like I would never want to make a book like top 5 Flash Omnis.
I am a Wally stan though. Like I like Wally better than Barry all day, but I'm not gonna sit here and get upset when someone takes a risk with a character I like. It's comics. That's what you got to do to make it interesting.
Tyler knows what's up.
Thank you so much for the congratulations on 2 years. And if you had 5 Batman Omnis to save from destruction, how about we work together to create 5? I feel like we don't need to hear 5 from everybody. The Jeff Loeb trilogy should be saved, right?
Yes.
Rise and Fall of the Batman should be saved.
Yeah.
And then how do we feel about Scott Snyder, Volume 1 at least?
Yes.
I don't have that Omni. I kept the standard hardcovers, which is actually kind of crazy when you think about it.
Maybe you're going to go the absolute route because we're finally getting follow-ups to it this year.
Well, that first Omni is awesome.
You have to have Nightfall in there too. I mean,
I've never read it. Is it good?
Just for the significance, at least.
That's getting thrown into the destruction pile.
Wasn't that your pick though? All 3 Nightfall Omnis for the Batman Evergreen stream.
You're messing with me.
I also really like the Batman Adventure Omnibus. I think it's great if you love the animated series.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have both read that.
I haven't read it yet.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has to look at the collection when thinking.
Yeah. I don't even have all the Batman Omnis because I kept a lot of the. I know. Peace and love, Sam. I know you love Nightfall, and I think you should.
To answer this question, mine was shipped out today.
I have to order mine. Damn it. What other Batman are there?
Came from my sponsor, Organic Price Books. There, if you're buying 1 or 3 books, save $2 on Organic Price Books with the code Brave Boys.
Is that buying 1 or 3 books save $2 on it? Is that new? I didn't know that.
So if you buy 1 to 3 books, you save $2 on your total order. If you buy 4 or more books, you save 5% with the code Brave Boys SIT.
I have to update my animations. All righty.
Wait, what does yours say?
I think it's just put in a code and it saves $2 still.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So it used to be, you used to save 5% on 3 books, but I
remember that.
I found a loophole. I chatted him and I'm like, hey, you know that if someone buys 2 books and adds the $1 shipping insurance for $1, it counts as 3 books and you get 5% off 2 books. He's like, damn it, I got it. But then he fixed it and made it 4 books and told none of us. for the longest time, for like months, I was saying 3 or more books, save 5%. And then I tried it myself and my code didn't work. And he was like, oh yeah, man, a few months ago I changed it to 4 books. And he had never told any of us.
So we all heard it. We all heard it here that it's Jake's fault why it was turned to 4 books. Okay, cool.
Way to go,
I'm
dude.
sorry.
No, you're not.
Well, sometimes it's like you have to save up so much commission credit to like try to get 4 books to get your money's worth. And it's like I never have the patience.
That 5% is a lot for those books.
Oh, I need to read the Paul Dini omnibus. I've heard nothing but great things about it.
We didn't think about Batman and Robin by Tomasi. I mean, that's probably one of my favorite Bat books.
That's
should
great.
Should I read that tomorrow? That's one of the Tomasi ones I haven't read yet.
That is incredible.
It is. Yeah.
When I was talking to Tomasi last week, he kept moving everything back to like his creator and stuff. He's got to sell stuff, you know. He's doing just creator owned stuff right now. So Jordan goes like, "Hey, so like, could you tell me like who your favorite dad is you've ever written in comics, like Batman, Superman?" He's like, "The dad and the Rockefellers, no question." And it was like he kept like segueing every question back to his creator owned stuff. Like, so I almost didn't want to ask him about anything DC related because at the beginning of the interview before it went live, I told him how much I love Super Stunts. He's strumming on a guitar, and he goes, "DC sure blew all that up." And then the interview went live, and I didn't ask any questions.
That sounds awkward. What other Batman? Then there's Tinian's, but I don't think that gets as much love as some of the.
Oh, Rise and Fall, or
no, his run on Batman.
The detective, you mean?
Detective?
Oh, I'm thinking of Tomasi. I'm sorry.
Tinian's Batman run's not collected in Omnibus yet.
No. It's
Okay.
coming
Tomasi's Detective. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Tomasi's Detective. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
I wouldn't add that. That was a very lackluster run for me personally, but
did you still buy it?
Yeah, but I love Tomasi. I love Tomasi.
I love
Mythology is one of my favorite Batman stories ever. Mythology was great.
I actually bit on that run initially because of the Arkham Knight stuff and coming from the video games. I was like, oh, this is the introduction into comics. Gotta watch or gotta read this. And after that, it kind of fell off.
Yeah, but I still got the Omni.
Me too. Yeah.
So maybe okay. So if I were to read one omnibus tomorrow, should I read the Paul Dini omnibus or should I read Batman and Robin?
I would read Batman and Robin.
I would agree.
Okay.
If you're going to read it for Batman Day, I think you should do that.
Is his Damian likable or annoying?
In Batman and Robin?
Yeah, because sometimes Damian's a little too much for me.
I think that might be the first place I really, because it's Dick Grayson as Batman.
No, that's the great. Isn't that? I thought that was the Grant Morrison run.
No, Batman and Robin starts with Dick, and then it transitions into the New 52 where Bruce is Batman again.
What? Why haven't I read that sooner? I love Dick Grayson as Batman.
Trying to tell you to read it.
Guys, we have a key appearance, a first time on the Brave and the Boys show.
Wow.
Omnibuddy himself with no fun lights in the background? Get us some lights. There we go. That's the Mitch. That's the Mitch I pay for.
That's what we do.
So
what's up, Omnibuddy?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Good, man. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, congrats, dude. 2 years. That's crazy.
No, thank you so much. That's awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys.
Yeah.
My wife got invited to an ABBA concert, and she was so excited. I didn't want to tell her that tonight was my sober anniversary, so I was like, yeah, go to the concert. I'll live stream with my boys. You know?
You'll be brave. Put on a brave face.
I'll be brave and
boys.
bold, right?
Yeah. With the
We got
boys.
one of Jess's #1 fans, Reaper.
Yeah, Reap. Thank you, buddy.
And then congratulations on 2 years, brother. I think I'm about 2 years behind you, but on the same road. Hey, one day at a time.
Nice. Good, Joey.
And which is your favorite era of the Batman Bat family? Doesn't have to be a single writer run. Could be Dini or Morrison, Brubaker or Rucka, Dixon and Grayson, etc.
Each of your favorite eras of the Batman Bat family. Well, that's easy for me. So everybody else should answer first, because unless you want me to go first, because
I think
very easy.
I think the Rebirth run for me, just because that's the one I've read the most of the whole Bat family. And it was like the Rebirth era.
Oh.
So like I loved all that Rebirth era stuff. That was when I was buying single issues. So that will always be my favorite era.
That was a strong Batman era.
Like both, I didn't know if I liked Detective Comics or Batman more. They were so great to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was a strong.
I like Nightwing also. It was great.
Yeah. You know what? That might be. I was going to say 1970 to 1974, the beginning of the Bronze Age Batman. But I don't know that it was as consistently well written as what you just said. The rise and fall of the Batman, and Tom King's Batman, and Nightwing. So, yeah. You might be right.
He was so confident. He goes, I got mine. You guys, I can go first because I have mine locked and loaded. And then I say mine. He goes, now I need to rethink. Somebody else go.
That's the sign of a good character, though, is when you think you know, and then you hear someone else's, and then it makes you just reassess and you go, oh crap, that's another great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious what your favorite is, Mitch. Since you traditionally don't love as much superhero stuff. You read a lot of other indie stuff. Do you have a favorite era of Batman?
I mean, I usually, if it's not, I mean, when I first started reading was like right when New 52 launched and Marvel Now. So I have a soft spot in my heart for New 52 Batman, which is kind of like, it's good. It's not the best, I know that, but like I loved Court of Owls. I mean, that was just so cool to read that as it was coming out. But I do really, really love Heart of Hush. I know someone else said it in chat too. I don't know who said it. Oh, Chaz said it too. That's one of the first ones I read when my buddy was trying to get me into comics 15, 20 years ago or something. He hooked me up with Heart of Hush, and that one blew me away. That was awesome. I loved that one.
Yeah, I was gonna read it tomorrow, and then they told me I have to read Batman and Robin, but I'm still down.
Mitch, have you read Blackwater Lilies from Magnetic Press?
I've started it, actually. I just started it a couple weeks ago, and then I got distracted with Ninja Turtles, of course, because anthropomorphic animals.
That's Mitch's thing.
Bunk and I reviewed it for Prime weeks.
Did he freeze?
Yeah.
He's freezing,
and that is quite easily.
You as soon as you started talking, you froze. So we didn't hear anything you said nicely about the book.
I didn't say. I actually stopped because everything froze.
Okay, you're back now.
Water Lilies is going to be one of my books of the year contender. It's so good. It's super good. It is amazing.
I started reading it. I got distracted. I got to get back to it. After I finish this next one, the TMNT book I'm on, I'm gonna go back and finish it. So I try and pepper in the Magnetic Press stuff and not just do like massive reads of all Magnetic stuff at this point.
That's when you get burnt out, Gotta do some personal reading. Actually, there might be some good news on this part, right?
Alexander, it turns out they may be going back and doing the original. They're going to restore the original colors and inks for the Neil Adams Batman Omni.
How many
It's
people
pretty cool.
texted you that? Was it like 40 people texted you that?
I would say 5 people texted me that. Yeah, which I thought was sweet. Everybody thought of me, and somebody even hit me up in the Omnibus group with it. They tagged me in that, so I thought that was really nice. But yeah, Alexander, it's I think it might be coming out with the original colors and inks, which would be really great. They can leave out Odyssey. Nobody needs to read Batman Odyssey.
Is there any instance where there's a recoloring that you actually think works better?
I did not like the Swamp Thing recoloring. I thought it took away from the atmosphere of the book. I heard that some people like the recoloring of the Walt Simonson Thor. I'm not a I don't know. So I didn't know the original colors, so I don't know.
Yeah.
When was that recolored?
Sorry?
When was Walt Simonson's Thor recolored? Was it for the original Omni?
I think it was I don't think it was for the original Omni. I think it was for the reprint, but I'm also not positive.
No, the original Omni is recolored. I got
it's recolored? Okay.
Yeah, I got an original print.
That's what I have is the original.
If I feel like if a recolor is done well, you won't even notice it. Like, didn't Watchmen get recolored for the Absolute, and like the original parts of Sandman got recolored after it had come out, and like nobody ever talks about it, because if the recoloring is done, it's like editing. If you do your job perfect, hopefully no one ever notices. You know.
I feel like a good instance of where recoloring I actually enjoy, and maybe I'll get hate for this, but is like the Killing Joke. Like, I actually prefer the recoloring than from the original colors, but that's the only.
What did you read? What did you read first?
The recolors, and then the original.
Okay. I wonder if it's like you like whatever you read first. You know what I mean? Like if you had, because for me, I only ever read Swamp Thing with the new colors, and I like it because that's all Swamp Thing has ever been for me. You know?
Yeah.
So
it probably is that. Yeah.
But now that I'm a Taschen collector, I love that it has the color imperfections since they're photographs of the original copies. You know.
Were you guys aware that Jake was a Taschen collector?
I am.
It's not just Taylor. Those two little guys right there.
Are those yours or are those someone else's though?
I am holding them for a friend. It's like before you get a cat, you cat sit your friend's cat, or maybe not a cat, maybe more of a dog. You like dog sit a dog for a day to see if you're responsible enough to own them. How many people do you guys think Jess stopped from buying that omnibus? How many collectors did he save?
You're welcome, Chaz. I'm glad I could help you.
Dom,
welcome back.
You're wearing you're wearing more clothes than before.
Well, I went outside, so
it's like the After Dark episode early.
Something like that.
I need Dom and Bunk in a tank top always. It's in my contract, and I need Tyler and Mitch in V-necks, and then Jess has to be in an awesome Roosevelt shirt. Those are no. Oh, okay. It's like my bachelor all over. I'll never forget
one button.
It's okay. How good is Tinian's Batman? I love his Detective Comics run. I don't think it's as good, but I think it's still good.
The aesthetics of Gotham are well with that one. Go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
No, I agree with what Jake said. It's not as great as Detective, but it's still good, and I still enjoyed it.
I agree.
And it's
Jorge Jimenez is really good at drawing Batman and comic books. Same with Gilliam March. A couple of other people that are slipping my head who did. Oh, Tony S. Daniel, who did the art for at least the first couple of issues on that book before he gave it off. So it's not as gripping. I don't know what it is about Batman overall for the last 8 years and why typically the Batman books have been a lot less lower end on the quality versus Detective Comics, where it seems like we have like 3-4 runs now that we can say, oh, like it's amazing. You guys should go read it.
I mean, when was Tomasi's Detective Comics run from that omnibus?
No.
I feel like
it was
that
nearly right after Tynan left. James Robinson took over for like 2 arcs, and then it switched over to Tomasi.
I remember liking Batman more at that point. And it's my friend Johnny. Congrats, Jake, on being 2 years sober. You and sobriety rock. I think of Johnny every time I look at my stack of shame and see Silver Age Superman with my bookmark on issue 3. And because he's like, hey, if you don't like it, man, I'll take it.
Johnny's
for some reason, I don't want to give up on it, you know.
Have you tried reading a story a day, or is even that too much?
I told myself that's what I was going to do.
You still couldn't do it. I feel like I warned you about it, but
yes, but you warned me like, oh, you hit me with that Jordan line. It's not for you. You wouldn't gain anything from it.
But I didn't think you'd enjoy the stories.
You have to accept that, Jake. I've been told that for so long. You just gotta. You're a modern reader. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all go around and say one book that's not for us that people might be surprised about. So I will never read Berserk. It's just the themes in it are things I don't want to read. So even though people love Berserk, it's not for me. I love everyone looking around at their collections or their books.
I know exactly what mine is.
Say, go for it, Mitch.
I don't like to knock books because one man's garbage is another man's treasure. And my absolute steaming hot pile of garbage that I cannot stand is East of West. That book is a pile of hot garbage.
Wow. Can you kick him out?
My favorite indie.
Yeah, totally. There you go. Much better.
My whole thing is like I love indies, and that one I don't know. Sometimes books just like get too like this is gonna sound like an insult, but I'm not trying to mean it as an insult. They try and like be they're just too into themselves. Like, no, it's not a slow burn, it's just boring. You know, stuff like that. So
how far did you make?
I made it about 12, 13 issues in. And I was like, no,
I thought he was going to say pages.
No.
East of West is a book I've only heard good things. So we got a dichotomy here.
I know. And
I thought East of West was great until the end.
Well, a lot of books have that problem. It's just, oh crap, we're getting canceled, or we're getting too close to the end, and they got to try and wrap up all the strings.
Wait, I forget
question. The question is, what was a book that people would be surprised that it like wasn't for you? Like, what was a book you had to accept it wasn't for you?
By the way, this is not alcohol. This has no alcohol in it.
It can be alcohol.
This is a virgin drink. This is a virgin drink in honor of you being a virgin. So
I'm married. You know what? I had a bone to pick with that. We did an escape room for my wife's birthday last week, and it was horror themed. So each person was designated a horror movie archetype, and they gave me the virgin. And I'm like, I'm the only one here with the wedding ring on besides my wife. Everybody else that was there was single, and yet they think I'm the virgin for some reason. So I'm not going to open that up. But
Tyler, you go first. I'll do mine last.
I still have it, and I've said it before. I'm going to give it another shot. But this book, and Mitch may like this book a lot. Little Bird. I just have not. It totally went over my head. I read it like 5 years ago on the recommendation of everybody, and I was like,
he's got it right there. Look again, make eye contact with Little Bird while you're saying no hateful things about it.
Tyler, did you buy that book from me?
No, I got Cyberpunk from you.
Here, can we answer this question really fast? Because I think they sent it. I don't know if it was a glitch or something, but it looks like they sent it like 15 times. Hello, Proto Man. Question: Sandman Absolutes or Master Edition? If you have the space, get the Absolute editions. They're gorgeous. But or I like the deluxe editions. But Overture should always be in an Absolute format. The Master Home is cool, but it's kind of a novelty. It's a good decoration. I don't know if it should be your one set of Sandman.
Yeah, I don't know. Little Bird just went over my head, and I said, it must be a me problem, so I'm going to save this and go back and try. But it may not be for me, so I'll try it again. I should try it again soon. But I just did not get it. I didn't understand.
I'm kind of with you on that one. It was okay, but like I don't get the hype for this book either.
You know, I don't even know that I could say it was okay because it went over my head. I was like, I don't understand what's happening in this book. So
it was a little like disjointed. I feel like it wasn't.
The art is incredible in it. I
the
haven't read
art's
it yet,
great.
but it's
Art's
insane.
great,
But don't birds usually fly over your head, Jess? Was that worse than my last one? No. Birds fly. It was a joke about it being over your head.
Keep explaining.
All right, my choice would probably be pretty much every Deadpool run ever.
Wow.
I don't get the appeal. I've never enjoyed Deadpool as a character. I don't find him funny. I don't really like the slapstick stuff. I never liked any Deadpool comic minus Cable and Deadpool. That's the only run I actually enjoyed.
That's the only Deadpool I've read, and I sold the omnibus because I didn't like it.
I think the only Deadpool I've read is Uncanny X-Force, but that's pretty out there for Deadpool. That's not a pretty normal Deadpool.
I think
that's some of the best Deadpool that remember.
I don't count that too much.
Deadpool.
That's the book that like brought me into comics. So
is Deadpool better if you're reading it like week to week because his jokes are so meta and so like pop culture references that like he's hard to get into if you're reading it like
I feel like that's
later?
only been true since 2006. If you read a lot of that 90s stuff for Deadpool, I mean, he's a lot more of a violent character than he is nowadays. I think that version only got popularized because Gerard Way pretty much BS'd his way by doing the whole, hey, let's try this whole Twitter thing, apply it to Deadpool, and that's what we got now. But you know, it is what it is. A lot of people love that type of character, especially like people younger than me, like tend to gravitate towards more of that type of slapstick. But no, I agree with Tyler. I mean, he's not for me, but I get why people like him.
So what's your hot take pick? What was the book that was not for you, Dom?
I'm coming from such a because my background is like
safe space. We know what's in your contract with Very Fine. I know what you want to say. I know you told me it in confidence. This is a safe space if you want to say it. If not, I won't push. He told me in confidence one time.
I've been on I've been on Jess's stream. I think I said this when we did the collected editions thing, Jess. I was just like, I usually don't cuss, I usually don't swear. I was like, fuck Logan, fuck every single book he's in. He can go die in a hole. He can stick his six claws up his ass. I
that, yeah.
I have never understood the appeal of Logan from my perspective, anyways. And it's not because like you're buddies with like all the other X-Men. I've never gravitated towards reading much of the like. I've read most like a good decent amount of the comics with the old guy. A friend of mine sent me the Wolverine Omnibus 1, which had a lot of great content. I just do not give a fuck about Logan. I read the Rucker run, great run. I still don't like Logan. The same with like Aaron, like all these different writers who have penned the character. And to this day, I will never understand why people like him. He's old, he's grumpy, he smells, he cusses a lot, he kills people.
You're literally describing Jess right now.
Oh Jess has never killed anyone. He's like the night.
I smell Jess
more than I am.
I smell Jess, and Jess smells like an angel.
Thank you.
He's so big. He does like and it's yeah. Never understood it. Never understood it.
I have 4 or 5 Wolverine omnibuses, and all I've ever read is Weapon X, and when he meets the Hulk in the beginning. That's all I've read for Wolverine. I have no like. I think I've committed to stop buying the Omnis. Like I feel like I've ran out of space for Omnis. I'm never going to open.
Yeah, I'm not going to agree with Dom just because he agreed with me, but I do agree fully. I don't understand the Wolverine hype, and I think if you want like a damaged and conflicting and confused character, like I always looked way more at Cyclops as a character like that than Wolverine ever. And I think that's what they like about him, is that he's good, but he kills people and this and that. But there's so many other characters that fill that void much better.
Now, to answer this question, though, what about the movies? I actually love all the movies. So I loved every single one of them. I didn't see the PG-13 cut where it was like a Christmas Story one with Fred Savage. That's the one I haven't seen. Was that one any good? Where he kidnaps Fred Savage from like the Never-Ending Story? And it's like
no, it was Princess Bride.
Oh, Princess Bride. Yeah, sorry.
I need to see that. I think that is a hilarious concept, but I haven't seen.
I've only seen. Is it a full movie?
It was a full movie. They re-released Deadpool for a PG-13 audience, a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2, and it's intercut with scenes of they recreated the Princess Bride bedroom, and Fred Savage is tied up in bed while Wolverine tells him the story of Deadpool 2. But it's like. I don't even know if you can buy it or find it anywhere. It's like an extra if you buy like a Blu-ray set of the second movie or something.
Oh,
okay. Because I've only ever seen like the first part of that. I thought it was just like a 5-minute shtick that they did. I didn't realize
it's a whole cut of the
whole movie.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
dang, man. Fox
I don't
out
think
of their way to do it.
I don't think I knew that either.
Yeah, you get enough of it from the trailer. But I think everyone was worried because they thought, like, is this them testing if, like, could Deadpool work as PG-13 because it had just got bought by Disney or whatever. So I think people didn't want to support it strictly because they want their Deadpool R-rated.
I don't know that they could keep Ryan Reynolds really PG-13 for very long. That'd be a real hard.
Have a great night, Jewish Dragon. Thank you so much for all your kind words.
Jewish Dragon's great person. What a great guy.
Yes, Alexander.
The best
Preach
X-Man. When you were saying you're like if you want a character, if you want to care about someone that's damaged and confused, I was like, please say Jake, and then you said Cyclops.
It's a hard life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So Mitch, for April Fool's Day, you should do your top 10 anamorphosized book list. I think that video would be fantastic.
What? Why would that be April Fool's?
I know it could be any day.
Why wouldn't that just be like Christmas? Come on.
Okay, who's your top 5? Who's your top 5 anamorphosized characters?
I mean,
and we know Usagi.
Usagi.
You can only pick one Ninja Turtle.
Well, Donnie. Donnie's like he's the
you
best.
Would pick that one. Really?
He's the best. He can fight, but he's also actually smart and level-headed. I really do hate how they always make him like super into April and like this weird sexual thing. I don't know. I really hate that, but I don't know. But him, I don't really. I mean, anyone from Mouse Guard, Black Axe stories from Mouse Guard are just phenomenal. If anyone's read Mouse Guard.
That sounds like a book series called Redwall that I read as a kid. I feel like you would have been a Redwall fan if you ever read prose. They were like medieval mices and rats and pandas and stuff.
Cool.
They had an abbey.
Huh.
I just finished Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. That was a good anthropomorphic.
I haven't read that one yet. I'm kind of boycotting it because Magnetic Press has a Beneath the Trees series that's years old. I'm like, you can't steal the name. And it's a kid's series.
Well, this is definitely not a kid's series.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh my God. Someone's going to have a horrible Christmas when they mix up which Beneath the Trees book they're supposed to buy for their child.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, that could be a rough mishap right there.
It's the difference between 15 different nightmares.
Man, I don't know. Does Bone count as anthropomorphized? I don't know. What's he supposed to be?
Isn't he a bone?
I don't
know what he is.
I don't know what he's supposed to be.
What is Bone?
Do you have any idea?
I I don't know what he is either. Just he's a big nosed little character.
What? I'm gonna Google what is bone.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Google has to say about
Yeah,
that.
don't share your screen.
A bone is living tissue that makes up a skeleton. Let me put the comic
Jeff Smith.
be a little more clear.
Yeah, I don't know that he's ever said what the bone family is.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's anthropomorphic or not, depending on maybe he's just like a creature.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever.
White skin, they
used
said
it.
they're white-skinned cartoon humanoids.
All right. I always thought he looked like Casper, the ghost. I think like he comes back as Casper after he dies. That's
Bone looks like I like the dark theory that Bone was Richie Rich. Or no, Casper was Richie Rich after he died.
From The Simpsons. Yeah.
Simpsons.
Bone looks like he needs to get a little sun, and that's coming from me. Like,
yeah.
I never understood the Wolverine hype until I started reading Uncanny X-Men last year. Now I love Wolverine.
Nice.
Now that Dom and Mitch are here, say 5 Geoff Johns omnis. Or is it just any omnibus written by someone named John? They didn't specify Geoff John.
Name 5 omnis that.
Wait, there's 5. We all get to pick one Geoff Johns omnibus to save. I'm gonna pick Infinite Crisis.
Green Lantern Volume 1.
Okay. Dom Salty, that was gonna be his pick.
No, I think I'm gonna go with JSA Volume 1 for mine.
Okay.
Oh, JSA. I'm going to go with New 52 Justice League Volume 1.
Okay.
I got a good amount to choose from.
I know you still have like 20 omnis, so.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Yeah.
Dang it. How did I not say Aquaman?
Yeah.
That is,
Aquaman's a good pick, Jake.
Aquaman is the perfect length of an omnibus. That's like you could knock that out in like a long day. I feel like I loved the length of Aquaman. I wish all.
I just remember when that came out and me reading it, and like I think there was a point. It was in issue 1 when he like gets shot in the head, and I think it's like 3 pages in maybe, and I like looked up and I was like, "Am I an Aquaman fan now?" Because this is really cool.
It was. I love when like in the beginning, like he saves them, and the cops are like Aquaman, like oh my, what a joke. Or like he's at a fish restaurant, and they're like, "Why are you?" Was that the one where they're like, "Why are you ordering fish?"
Yeah.
The amount of cool runs for Aquaman that we've had since Brightest Day, I will say, like it's a pretty good testament to DC's attempt to restore whatever the character had that was, the American stigmatism of he's the guy who talks to fish and breathes underwater. I would like to get Jeff Parker's in a deluxe someday.
Yeah.
Dan Abnett's in an Omni someday, and Kelly Sue DeConnick's in an Omni someday. It's it's criminal that we haven't had any of those in oversize yet.
Yeah.
Don't give my creator Evergreen to mediocre condition. It was very fine until he was too slow on the Conan review. Now he's mediocre condition.
Alexander's holding it against him.
Yeah. Now, if we were to knock off one of our choices, which one are we knocking off?
This is an evergreen stream.
I'm knocking off Justice League. I think Origin is good. I'll read it as an absolute, but I'm not crazy about the rest of Volume 1. I feel like wasn't Volume 2 a lot better?
Volume 1 still has Throne of Atlantis, which is a pretty nice crossover story.
I thought I loved all of Justice League, so I mean you can knock it off, but I love
is this the fake evergreen stream?
Yeah.
I just wanted to fight. I was trying to give them a show. Is the JSA Omnis worth it? I bought all 3 of them.
Yes, 100 million times over.
Yeah. You buying all 3 of them isn't exactly a good benchmark, though, Jake.
That's true. Is there a book that's not in your collection that like for me, for instance, like there's certain books where I'm like, oh, I'll buy that someday, but I that someday never comes. Is there a book that you want in your collection, but you never wanted enough to actually buy it?
JSA.
Wolverine.
Which ones?
Oh, joking.
Any.
Go for it, Tyler.
Who, me?
Oh, he said JSA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Is
he
it-
said, oh,
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
like me, Tyler, where when it's 3 volume ones, it's intimidating? Buy just one, because then what if 2 of them go out of? So you feel like you need to buy all 3 at the same time, but then that's too expensive whenever you have Omni money, so it like never happens.
Hit the nail on the head. Yep.
Because what if you buy volume 1 because you can't buy all 3 volumes at once, and then 2 and 3 go out of print, and then you're screwed.
I've had that happen, and it drove me nuts. That's why I'm so afraid of it.
I only have 1 volume 1 in my collection without a 2 and 3 in it, and it drives me crazy. And I told Tyler I would stop bringing it up, so we're moving on.
Which one's that?
I watched Very Fine, and I thought he said that we were never getting volume 3 of Justice League Incorporated. So to pay for my wedding, I sold volume 1 and 2 to Tyler, and like a week after, volume 3 got solicited. So I
You
have
made the
since
sacrifice.
I have since rebought volume 1, but I have not bought volume 2 and 3 yet, and I feel like volume 2 is out of print, and I don't want to look and find out.
Wait,
Oh.
Justice League Incorporated? What? I don't. Am I-
International, he meant.
Oh,
JLI.
sorry, just League International. Sorry,
Oh,
Just League International.
Incorporate, like what incorporate? There's no run that exists like that.
Yeah,
Sorry, Justice League International.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. What are we working on now?
Is there a book that you want in your collection
Oh.
someday, but someday never
Oh,
comes?
JLI
because-
Volume 2 is in print, Jake. Real quick.
Okay. What? Let me where? Let me see where I can find it. Let me look at it. I shouldn't buy it. I should hold off. But I should buy it, right? Because what if it goes out of print again?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Just remember those big 4 books you bought.
Congrats on 2 years of sobriety. Thank you so much.
My boss.
Is Dom supposed to leave because he wasn't allowed to do this appearance without your permission? Or
Did he miss the part when Dom said he hates Wolverine?
oh!
Which one
Yeah,
though?
just get Dom
Irony,
fired.
There's been more than one person who's been Wolverine. So
Oh, that's fair.
near mint condition. The reason I sold my volumes of Justice League International only to regret it for the rest of my life. But I read volume 1 and I loved it, but I also felt like, you know what, that might be enough international for me. Like, I get it, it's quirky, it's a sitcom, you know, like Batman punches out Guy Gardner. Dom is being written up for being on a show on Mad Dog Vault. Oh, is it a written or is it a verbal? Because at my work, you get a verbal first, and then if they give you a repeated one, it's a written. So is it in his file? No.
I think he just copyright strikes him.
Oh, come on.
Wait, let's get Omar on the phone.
I'm sending you the link right now. Tell us your thoughts on if I should rebuy Justice League International Volume 2 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to be picking up.
Let me see.
go buy everything.
Weird to say congrats. No, I love getting people drunk. You should have seen the cocktail I made for my wife's birthday the other day. It was like 8 bottles of liquor and 1 thing of pineapple juice. It destroyed poor Jordan. He like fell asleep floating in a pool noodle or like a pool ring in the pool. So you should have seen my bachelor parties thing. I love, if I can get someone to,
So you're an
like,
enabler.
to take the shirt off. I'm an enabler because I live vicariously through others. Because yes, go buy everything, misprinted pages and all.
Alexander's going out.
Get on the stream, mediocre. Hey, I sent Omar the stream.
Are you calling him?
Is it a collect call? Does he charge you?
Collect call? Do they even do that anymore?
If anyone could find a way.
Hey, buddy, I have a question for you.
No, okay.
Well, Are all Alien Black Costume Saga books? Do they have that misprint?
Because I bought one a few days ago.
I don't know. I think so. I opened up my copy and I asked Max to open up a copy, and he had one that was messed up. So I assume they all are.
They all are. Okay.
Yeah. Why? Are you going to do a breaking news on your channel to tell people about it?
Yeah, because that's what I do on my channel. Breaking news.
Well, he broke the Conan news.
Marvel done fucked up.
That's the title of the video, right?
Shut up, Jake. Quit stealing ideas. Congratulations on your sobriety.
Oh, thank you.
It's the most bitter congratulations I've ever heard.
Are you ever going to catch up to Jess and do a Conan video?
That is doing something like that. That's wonderful.
Thanks, man. Are you ever going to catch up to Jess and release a Conan review? Because Jess has been out for a while.
I can't hear you. What did you say?
I said, are you ever going to release a Conan overview from Titan? Because Jess scooped you.
He scooped me? Oh, I actually have to read these things.
Jess just went on Wikipedia, didn't he?
Oh, no, he watched the other channel that already did an overview. Or he watched my original overview.
I don't think that's what happened.
I don't think so.
No.
Jazz is in mourning, man. He lost an Omnibro.
What happened?
I don't think we need to go.
When you go be drunk,
Well, I guess this calls.
Alexander says if he joins, he'll go from mediocre to fine condition.
I am the most finest condition you're ever going to meet. All right, I got to go and record a video. You guys stay.
Wait, does he often record videos drunk? How? What video were you the drunkest in secretly?
Oh, dude, I'm a fucking pro.
Tell me, what video were you the drunkest in?
I can do a video drunk and sound 10 times smarter than Jess all day, every day.
Okay, this phone call's over.
All right, you all have a good night.
Good night.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
I'm canceling my order of Black Suit Spider-Man Omnibus, even though
Yeah,
JP
sounds
shipped it
like
out
they have
today.
misprints. It's pretty
Actually,
serious misprints.
my story with it is I bought the regular cover, and then I watched Omar's video and goes, "Dang, the DM cover looks way better." But I didn't care enough to tell JP and change my order. And then JP sent me a picture today of my books that were shipping out, and he grabbed the wrong cover, which was the DM one that I found out I wanted later. And I'm like, that worked out without me having to do anything. So, yeah. Still
Happy little
mediocre
accident.
condition then.
It sounds like that Black Costume Saga, though. It's not just a misprint. It's missing pages.
Alexander's on your side. Still mediocre. He disrespected Jess.
He has never respected Jess. It's always disrespect. That's what our relationship is built on. Mutual disrespect.
It's a funnel. Omar disrespects you, so then you disrespect me to get, that's why I get the crowbar, right?
Sure.
What if I was trying to figure out what Omnis were coming out soon? Is there a website I can go to that shows up-to-date comic releases?
Am I supposed to plug? Yes. Obviously, you can go to comicreleases.com where we have literally every single omnibus, epic collection, DC Finest, everything else up to the date at your fingertips.
I've been using your website a lot. I went on Reddit today. Someone posted some of the DC like single issue solicits, and I clicked on it, and like every time I scroll down, it was like an ad or like a giant image that took forever to load. And I read like 2 single issues that were coming out, and then I said, "This sucks," and I'm not going to keep scrolling
Just
down
use
the website.
my site. We have 0 ads, and everything loads. Since we moved to our new server, everything has worked a lot better.
Who's more heartless than a Nightwing villain?
The brand new villain for Tom Taylor's Detective Comics because that literally looks the exact same as Heartless from Nightwing.
Did you guys ever hear about when I was reading Nightwing? I accidentally skipped volume 3 and went straight to volume 4 and didn't realize that I missed volume 3, and it completely ruined like a huge surprise.
What was the book you read volume 2 first before volume 1?
Well, it happened multiple times, but the one you're talking about is Lazarus.
Hey,
That's right.
Greg
I read volume 2, and I remember one of your friends, Jess, didn't like it because there was maybe a little too much Game of Thrones in it, if you know what I mean. A little too much. A little too much Game of Thrones, and I'm like, there wasn't really any of that in the book. And then I read volume 1, and I go, oh, it's Game of Thrones up in here.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, we got a long one. I think there's still a tour de force Aquaman epic told by the right writer. He, being both the avatar of the blue and the reincarnation of King Arthur, prophesies to save the world from environmental collapse and self-annihilation and lead all bioorganic life in the future, but I won't be holding my breath for the right writer arriving. Why is right and writer hard to say together? Soon.
That was supposed to
that.
You know what? If that was Francis Manipoul's pitch to DC for Dawn DC for the Aquaman book before Geoff Johns said, "Hey, you want to join my my creator's gig over here at Image?"
I know. I forgot to ask him that question when we hung out the other day.
Because yeah, a lot of people are still complaining that there is no book for Orin Arthur Curry, whatever you want to call him nowadays. But
I think Earth 1 is pretty dead. I gotta say, Wonder Woman Earth 1 was my least favorite Earth 1 thing I've ever read.
Really?
Wonder Woman Earth 1.
You didn't like Wonder Woman?
I did not like it. I don't know. It just like to me was like the art was great. I like the art. Maybe it was because I was reading it in a compact comic, but to me, like it just looked like the panels were so hard to follow because it would be like this twirly lasso in this weird direction, and then all the panels were like in weird layouts, and like I just couldn't follow it sometimes. But I like that like in one scene they were riding kangaroos like on the mascara.
Did you read Teen Titans by Jeff Lemire?
No, I haven't read that.
You don't need to.
That was my first Jeff Lemire book.
Well, now he's gonna read it.
What was?
That was my first Jeff Lemire book. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I grew up with the Teen Titans, like, you know, stuff that I would get. Teen Titans related, I read it. I'll say, man, between U-52, like Scott Lobdell and the guy who wrote them after, I'm blanking on their name. Yeah, and Earth 1. It was not a good time to be a fan if you were like collecting those books.
No.
Okay,
what Lemire is aggressively mediocre.
What book has the most confusing panel layout you've ever read?
Manga. Any manga.
I was going to say that.
I can't read it. I wish I could.
Did you say most confusing book?
Yeah, like panel layout. Like you couldn't figure out what panel. Maybe it's just me, but I admitted on a stream the other day that sometimes I get lost knowing what panel I'm supposed to read if it's not super basic. And then later that night, Jess texted me because he was reading Justice League Dark Rebirth, and he goes, "Don't read this book. It's just 1,000 pages of confusing panel layouts."
Yeah.
Well, when you said that, I was going to say Gideon Falls, which is also Lemire. So I don't know. I know, but
I'm going to Google Gideon Falls right now and see if I can.
Well, it's also Sorrentino, but yeah, they got some wonky paneling in there. Well, it's just no paneling. It's like just art that's swirling and.
Oh my God! This look. How are you supposed to read that? Like, do you go like in a clock? Like, do you when do you read the center?
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's really tough.
Yeah, there's some crazy panels in there.
Did they continue doing that?
Are you supposed to read
Zone
each of these
Orchard?
individual? Are you supposed to read each of these small little squares?
Well, I mean, it's just you can take in the art. I mean, there's only a couple text bubbles in that, but. Well, because Bone Arthur mythos isn't a part of Gideon Falls.
Yeah, but it's the same creative team, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of similar. There's a lot of similarities between the two, actually. So
okay, so for this one, you read the top square, the two little things, and then you go left to right. I can do that. That's fun and inventive, but I can do that. It's like someone like Wonder Woman Historia, where it's like just a goddess and like they're like images all around. I love that art, but I like it's hard for me to follow. But Wonder Woman Earth 1, let me see if I can pull it up. Earth 1.
I like that book.
double.
I like Superman Earth 1 less than Wonder Woman Earth 1.
Wow.
I would agree with that too. I thought JMS's take on Soups was weird, but
Yeah.
I agree with this.
The
See-
Batman Earth 1 I really loved, especially
It was-
these two books.
It was these like curvy little panels. Like the panels weren't squares,
that's
They're
not
like-
confusing though. That's just a 3-panel right there.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this one? How do you okay, so you just go straight down, right?
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah, because the bubbles are overlapping. So you go to the whatever's overlapping next.
Okay, this one left to right. Look, I'm learning how to read comic books finally.
you should do a video on how to do that, Jake. I think it would do well.
Comics.
How to
don't
read
think I'm-
comics.
He's gonna get it wrong, and everyone's just gonna destroy him.
That can be your next top 10 video, Jake. Top 10 comics that confused me.
Yes, do it. Wonder Woman Earth 1 is going to be number 1. You can be like, admittedly, I only read the compact edition, so I didn't get to read it in the format that it was intended to be read in.
Okay, but can you at least imagine like those weird panel layouts, the size of a compact comic? Like here, I have it right here. Let me see if I can find something. Like, I don't know. I just think this like wasn't the book meant to be a compact comic.
It definitely was not. No, I think if you wanted a
You
Wonder
need
Woman
to see it a
story, there
larger
were a lot
size.
of other books that you could have picked and said,
I look at the pictures. No one, everyone here loves it. He was just saying that some of the panel layouts might be challenging for me.
It was Justice League Dark Rebirth, and it's not. I mean, I love the book and it's great, but it does go from like regular layout to then across the top and then across the bottom, and then it goes back to regular layout. So it can get confusing unless you're really paying attention. Because right after Jake said something about it, that's when I picked up on it in Justice League Dark.
Yeah. I just think this book it just felt busy for the size of the page, like
That's gets kind of muddy at that scale.
yeah. Like there's some like I don't think Watchmen is what should be in a compact comic, because with that one you're like poring over the background for little details that immerse you in the world. And when it's a compact comic size and you're like, where's my magnifying glass? But I loved Far Sector in the compact format. I thought that was great.
That's a good book.
Mhm.
I know. It was awesome.
I can't wait for the deluxe to come out next year so I can read it again.
You're not going to get the compact comic? You're not going to read Far Sector in the size it wasn't intended?
Unless someone gives it to me for free. No, I don't have space in my room. There's other books I want to collect that aren't compact editions.
Look at this. Look how explosive it is in the compact muddy coloring.
As big as your hand.
And I have little hands, dude. I have like famously small hands. I'm like, yeah. Far Sector was great. The only thing I didn't like is that each issue started with like a super long recap of everything I had just read. Like it clearly was meant for like week to week single issue readers. It was like, hey, let's recap the story so far. And I didn't need that as I was reading the whole thing in one sitting.
I think that also tends to happen with novelists who go try out to do their comics. Like it happened with like Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther. From what I remember, like reading some of those like first issues, it was like, okay, I can clearly tell like, that the person isn't a comics writer first and foremost, right? Because they're used to writing a lot of words. That just tends to happen when they transition over.
That's fair. Well, unrelated, does anyone here have a beanbag chair recommendation? I feel like I'd like to buy a high quality without getting ripped off, but I have no clue what may be worth the premium and would make feasible for a bang for one.
It's time to get a Snorlax beanbag. It's time. There are no other questions. There are no other answers that will be allowed besides find a Snorlax beanbag, get it for $100, put that in your living room. People are going to love you forever.
Here, we're gonna pull up a
You
picture
have
to
yours
show
to
you.
show, or are you sitting on it? Oh,
That's actually a picture of Dom.
I like that one. This one looks homemade.
That one looks snuggly.
awesome
That dude's in.
beanbag chair. Dom's right. Look
This
at
also
that.
looks like a photo of me and my wife together. I'm the Snorlax.
I want this now.
You should get it.
Do you have it, Dom?
I'm gonna be buying one when I
Oh,
get
a
when I
skinned
move out to my own
Snorlax.
house.
Top middle. It's a skinned
Top-
Snorlax right in the middle.
Oh, that one?
Oh my god,
It's leaking.
it's morbid.
I like it. I like the
It's like a
ditto,
s-
but the ditto raises too many weird questions.
Yeah,
What are the ones, the little 3 brown dudes sticking out? Of
Doug
the...
Trio. Oh my god!
Doug
Don't
Trio.
ever Google Doug Trio below the ground.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the worst deviant fan art I've ever seen in my life. It scarred me.
When he says that, you know it's time to Google.
My worst experience when I was first starting out live streaming was when I was trying to explain Jordan what happens in the Preacher TV show. And I was trying to explain to him what R-Space looks like. So I Googled R-Space on a live stream with Google Images without having safe search on. And I had to learn how to blur out that image.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That was probably the worst mistake I've ever made on a live stream. Dom, did you say how you're celebrating Batman Day tomorrow?
Well, I guess I technically already celebrated it because I got to talk to Dan Waters about his Batman book. I think that's really the only thing I had geared for the weekend. Just like, hey, you know, he's writing a detective story. The pitch, because for guys who aren't is up to speed, DC announced that the guy was going to be writing this series called Batman Dark Patterns, where it's a 12-issue series and it's split into 4 separate stories based on a different crime Batman has to solve in the first 3 years of him Batmaning. So it's an early look at what Batman was like before he made the connections that he made with the GCPD, and also with all the villains and people that he has to rotate around with. On top of, he's brand new to the superheroing thing. He isn't fully established yet as he is today. And the series is going to explore that. And I'm super, super hyped for it.
Sounds great.
That's awesome, man. When is that interview dropping?
Oh, it already dropped. Dropped at 3:30 Eastern time PM.
Look at you, man. Scooping all these great interviews.
I know. The coolest part about the Batman book is he is Hayden Sherman, who they're also going to be drawing Absolute Wonder Woman for Kelly Thompson, is also going to be drawing the entirety of this Batman series.
I like it. It sounds
Dude,
great.
that art for Absolute Wonder Woman looked amazing. When is that coming out? Is that coming out before I interview Kelly Thompson?
It's like coming out the 4th week November, I believe.
So it won't be out yet. Okay. I always feel that's always like my hard thing is if I'm doing an interview for like Dynamite or something or Ghost Machine, it feels like I want to try really hard to push the thing that they're trying to push, but I also want to ask questions about like other work that they've done. So I'm trying to find that balance. I kind of let the creator kind of tell me, like with Tomasi, he kept segueing everything back to his creator owned, but Declan Shelvey wanted to talk about everything. So that was great. So it really just depends. Well, awesome guys. I should probably go eat dinner tonight. Since Thank you all for showing up. This is amazing. Where can they all find you guys?
YouTube.
Yep.
Come on, you guys know how to do this stuff. Come on, you got things to plug, right? No, okay.
No.
Well, that was it. Good night, everybody.
You can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube, where my latest videos are apparently scooping the world on Titan's release of Conan the Barbarian and Savage Sword of Conan.
Breaking news, baby.
Volume 1 each. Yes.
If I pick up one of the Omnis, which one should it be?
Oh,
Look at that classic Jess Bragg posing with his animated series shirt with his book in the background. I want to frame that and have him sign it.
my only concern there is it says the return of the minister, but the minister's not on there. It's me.
I didn't have. Did you give me a photo of the minister? Where was I supposed to find one? I don't know his name.
Don't stop yelling. I'm just saying.
I put the exact text that you requested on the thumbnail, but we can change it. Let's make a thumbnail together, guys. What should the text say? I have the minister returns.
The return of the minister?
Okay, he wanted the minister returns. Do you want to send me a picture of the minister? Do you want to put Talking Batman, the animated series? Talking Batman? What should we put? What text would make you click on this thumbnail?
I like what you got right there.
Yeah, what you have there is fine. Like, it's effective.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jess sends me an essay of text he wants on every single thumbnail. And I'm like, maybe he wanted like Batter Days in the Batcave, Jess Bragg, and the Minister Returns, Talking Batman, the animated series. And this is not a joke. 5 years in the making on the thumbnail.
I did say that.
In all fairness, though, Jake, when Jess asks me for a thumbnail request, if I'm like doing an interview with him or talking Batter Days or whatever, I do everything that like he tells me to put in the thing, and he loves whatever I put out, and everything is on the text of request that he says. Like, it's all possible.
I know, but I think less text is better, right? Like, how you want to read an essay? I feel like I try to keep my text to like thumbnails to like 1 to 4 words, So like,
got to be able to read it in like 1 to 2 seconds.
Yeah,
That's
people like
time.
Both can be effective. I think it's really just about pulling whatever the person's. I mean, if it looks good, people are going to click on it, no matter how much or how little text there is on a thumbnail.
I just want to see Jess as Batman doing that, and then Photoshop the Omni of Jess.
Wait,
like
Jess,
that.
Can I show
and
them
then,
a
like,
peek of the last thumbnail I made for you, the one for your upcoming haul video? Can I show them that one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Look at this one. Back to Holland.
I think that's funny.
When's that video dropping?
I did make it already. Maybe Monday.
Can you put them in a
do some organic?
Put them in a semi with like the books on the back of the trailer, and they'll be like Back to Holland.
I remember one time Mitch sent me an AI generated thumbnail of like dolphin whales in the background for my absolute whale haul, and it was like me on like in front of the ocean with whales coming up behind me, and I was like, how did you make that so fast? And then I saw there was like 7 dorsal fins on the whale.
It was glorious. It was glorious. I gotta still have that around here somewhere.
So where can they find the rest of y'all?
Well, you can find me on Dom of X, where I am eerily close to the next milestone. I am doing a host of more creator interviews for People's DC All In books and also the Absolute line. Very, very excited to talk to them about that with some surprises, I think, that you guys will enjoy. So you can find me there, comicreleases.com, obviously, and also Very Fine Condition, who is apparently recording a video while drunk at 11 at night.
I'm excited to see this video now. It's a great tease.
Do you ever have to edit out like burps or slurred words when you edit his videos? Because the other day I dropped my Hitman video and I wasn't paying attention because I was watching a movie with my wife, and someone commented like LOL at this timestamp, and I click on it and it's me doing the overview and I just belch super loud, but the video was on YouTube. So I had to quickly use YouTube's janky editor to edit out the burp. Honestly, if you're gonna burp in any video, it might as well be Hitman, right? Like, I think I was showing a photo of a 6-pack, which is like, if any character's gonna belch, it's alcoholic 6-pack, Well,
I mean, I will say that bloopers and videos are some of the most fun to record, because if you can find a way to integrate it into the video, it actually not only keeps the person engaged, but it also gives them a nice little laugh and something to remember. So push comes to shove for the Saturday stream. Omar's like, hey, like I'm talking, some be like, hey, I love the video where like you said like a really weird word in a really weird way, but it made my day.
Raw shark.
It works for everybody.
Or like when I accidentally filmed the video and I said Nightwing instead of Night Owl for the entire video. Did you guys hear about that one? Right after my Nightwing video, I did a review of Watchmen issue 1, and the 20-minute take, every single time me and Jordan say Night Owl, we accidentally say Nightwing. So we had to refilm the video.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
funny.
Okay. Did we do all of our outros? Did everyone say where they can find you?
You can find me at Omnibuddy, Instagram, YouTube.
And
All those
you can find me at Illuminerdy _ Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
And check the spelling of that one, because I'm still having to correct the Omnibuds Facebook page because they're still posting the wrong Illuminerdy. That's like a conspiracy theorist account about like the New World Order on their list of their favorite comic book YouTubers.
No, it was a it was still a comic book related YouTube. It was just more about like MCU movies and stuff like that. I subscribed to them. I was like, I don't know who this is, but I'm down with it.
I've unsubscribed from Omar because of this stream. Okay, good night, everybody.
Congratulations, Jake.
Thanks,
Congrats.
guys.
See you guys.